Assalamu alaikum everyone. This is me, your English instructor Muhammad Hasnain, and also motivational speaker. As you all know, last time I told you that I had a beginner level class about how to introduce yourself, and you guys might have seen that and you guys appreciated that so much, and I believe you will appreciate this video also and this class also, because this is also going to be a very informative class and especially for beginners. So you guys know I'm gonna have a video after this about discussion tips. आज मैं बताऊंगा कि कैसे हम लोग वेरी का इस्तेमाल मुख्तलिफ तरीकों से करके हम लोग अपनी लैंग्वेज को किस तरह खूबसूरत बना सकते हैं. वाओ. और आज की ये वीडियो, इसके अंदर मैं डिस्कशन के कुछ टिप्स भी दूंगा, इसकी एक अलग वीडियो होगी और उनके अंदर सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट है कि हम लोग एक लफ्ज़ दोबारा ना इस्तेमाल करें. तो आज मैं उसी के लिए एक इंस्टेड द वर्ड्स दैट वी शुड यूज इंस्टेड वेरी, आज मैं उन्हीं के ऊपर बात करूंगा. तो चलिए हम लोग अपनी वीडियो के अंदर आते हैं और वीडियो को शुरू करते हैं. जी हाँ दोस्तों, जिस तरह कि आप सब लोग देख सकते हैं मेरे बोर्ड के ऊपर सबसे ऊपर लिखा हुआ है वेरी. जी, what are those words that we can use instead of very? Like for example, we say very good, very beautiful, very gorgeous, etc. And this is the word that we all love to say, but it is a problem because we should not do repetition of words, and I'm going to include this in my video of discussion tips. So let's go ahead, my dear students, and let's get into the video. First of all, as you guys can see, the most beloved sentence or the most beloved word that we usually say is very good. So very good is the sentence that we all say. It's not a sentence, but it's the word, it's the combination, whatever you want to call it. It's that one thing that we love to say. Wow, that's very good clothing. He has a very good car. He's a very good dress, for example. He is having a very good amount of cash in his bank. Anything we can say. He's having a very good skill of talking. He's having a very good skill of writing. Any kind of thing. So instead of that, there are so many different words we can say. Fantastic. I'm not including all of them on the board because it will get so much big and it will have problems. So we can use fantastic, good, cool. We can use mostly things for that. But good is something that is alone itself doesn't feel that much over exaggerated, and it's a thing of us Asians that we want to exaggerate things. Especially in my country, people love to exaggerate things. So instead, the number one thing that, even if there is a female, for example, and you tell her that you're looking superb, you're looking beautiful, you're looking gorgeous. So if you say you're looking superb, so she will take it as the most best compliment she could ever have, because we can call it the most highest form of, like for example, it's good, more good, or most good. We can call it that way, or good, very good, we can call it that way, but the highest form, the highest level of that can be superb. She will take that as a very great compliment and she will thank you and will be happy after that. So we can use, for example, I was giving only example, very good, we can use also great. That was a great class. That was a great party. That was a great ride. That was a great moment of my life. We can use so much with this sentence. And then fantastic, so much more. I'm going to teach you so much more, but I cannot include that on the board. Now, very rich. Now, the simple thing for very rich is wealthy. 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 Now, lots of people tell me I want to become rich. I tell them that why not becoming wealthy? So they say, what is the difference between wealth and between richness and being wealthy? So the person, like for example, I would give you the example of, for example, Jeff Bezos. He's a rich person. He's a rich person. But wealthy is the person who gives loan to Jeff Bezos. I want to be that kind of person. Wealthy. Now, Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos in front of our eyes are wealthy. But there were people in the past stages who were wealthier than Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos. The most wealthiest person, who was from Africa, Mansa Musa, and he was having so much money that no one can even count that much money. Nobody knows the correct amount of that much money that he had. So if we watch, wealthy is the person, for example, if I give you the example of Imran Khan, if he's rich and I am wealthy, so I would be the person giving him loan instead of taking loan. So I want to be that person who gives loan to Imran Khan, Michael Jordan and other stuff. So wealthy is a very big level of richness, I could call it. This was a very problematic thing. Nobody knows the difference between wealth and richness. So let's go. Very cool. Do you know what is the meaning of very cool? It's very cool out. It's very cool outside because it's raining. Why is it very cool? Because it's raining. So why to say very cool again and again and again and again? Instead we can use it's freezing outside. It's freezing outside. In Antarctica it's all the time freezing. It's freezing temperature. The temperature is freezing. The environment is freezing. The weather is freezing. We can use it in so many ways. Now, very big. There are lots of ways for that. We can say huge. We can say gigantic. We can say so much more. We can call so many, have different names. That building is very big, it's boring. But if you want to exaggerate it to the next level, you can say that building was huge. And even if more you want to exaggerate it, the more bigger the sentence is, the more bigger the people get exaggerated with it. Huge has 3 sentences, big has 3 sentences, huge has 4 sentences, and gigantic has more than both of these. So if the much more, this is my strategy, the much more longer words you say, the much more you exaggerate it. So the building was gigantic, so big that we cannot even explain it. The T-Rex was gigantic. It was so big that I cannot even explain how big it was. It was gigantic. The gigantic monster, or the gigantic building, or the gigantic whatever you want to call it. So we can use gigantic. Now very small we can use tiny. I have this tiny suitcase in my home that was so much tiny when I saw, and it cannot even barely have anything in it. And my sister has a tiny bag. It is so small that it can barely fit a pouch in it. A pouch can barely fit in it. It was so tiny, teeny tiny. And even if you want to exaggerate it, you can say it was a bit that teeny tiny kind of thing you were talking about, that teeny tiny balls. So very scary. Now these are on your choice. What do you mean by very scary? I was scared. It was scary. What do you mean? Now if you're saying I was scared, so I was terrified, for example. Or if you want to say that it was scary, so you can say it was terrifying. Now there are many ways of saying it, like terrified and terrifying. Now it's upon you that what do you have in your mind. If you're saying that I was scared, so you can use terrified, I was terrified. And if you want to say the thing was scary, so you can say I was scared. Now what do you mean by very creative? It's upon your own choice. I'm a Photoshop artist, and according to me, very creative in Photoshop, it means artistic freedom. So now the number one word is artistic freedom. Secondly, we can even say creativity. Instead of saying very creative, we can say he has a bundle of creativity inside him. His mind is very creative. We don't need to use very in front of creative. We can use many ways. Now, I don't mean what you want, but for me, creativity sentence that fits me best is artistic freedom. I usually never say to people like, you're very creative, so I don't feel any word. I don't use commonly this word. But if I'm working on Photoshop, I usually say this. So I don't call it this is creativity. I say this is artistic freedom. This is artistic creativity. So now there are various things like very beautiful. For example, I'm very much sorry, I couldn't write it. For example, so very beautiful, we can give the example of that. So very beautiful, we can say gorgeous, very handsome. If for a man, now I don't know if you're a man or if you're a female. If you're a female, but men actually, beautiful isn't for men, it's for women. So I cannot say handsome for very beautiful, but I would say gorgeous. It's for females. Now for kids, cute. Now for men, handsome. Now there's so much, like he's a very handsome man. We cannot say he's a very beautiful man because beautiful is for females. So after that, there are lots of different things going on, but I cannot actually say all the sentences. I cannot even say all of them. So I would try my level best to give you all the sentences, and if you have any other sentences, tell me in the comments. Other than that, thank you so much for staying with me. This is me, Muhammad Hasnain, and with the next topic, with the next lesson, I'm going to be with all of you, and we are going to talk once again. We will be together once again. Thank you so much for staying with me. Allah Hafiz.